All right, we are going to now attempt to do long division with polynomials. So we're going to divide 3x cubed minus 4x squared plus 6x minus 16 by x minus 3. Process is going to be the exact same. I'm going to set everything up the same. It's the same idea. You multiply, put it below, subtract going down, bring the next term down. It's always the same. It just looks a little bit different. So it's going to go x minus 3, then set up your division symbol and put the 3x cubed minus 4x squared plus 6x minus 16 underneath. And what's kind of different here, though, is that we always look at our first term outside and first term underneath and go, how many times does x go into 3x cubed? It's just like how many times does 16 go into 17? It's kind of that first step. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write it over on the side, and you actually just divide them. 3x cubed divided by x is 3x squared. That's the number that goes up on top, and now I'm going to multiply x minus 3 by 3x squared. So I'm going to write that on the side. Typically, I don't write that on the side, but in here I will. I'm going to write it on the side, and when I multiply that out, I get 3x cubed minus 9x squared, and now we're going to go subtract these going down. So when I write that 3x squared up above, I try to line it up. I always want to keep my x squareds all in a nice vertical column. X's in a vertical column, numbers with no x's in a nice vertical column. You really want to stay organized when you're doing this long division. When I subtract, make sure, I always put brackets around what I'm subtracting so I remember to subtract that second term. The first term should always cancel out. That's the key piece, and that way we're always kind of moving to the left. So that 3x cubed minus 3x cubed goes away, but it's the minus negative 9x squared. Make sure that's actually going to be plus. So it's negative 4x squared plus 9x squared is 5x squared. And then I'm going to bring down the 6x. So it's 5x squared plus 6x. And now I look at the 5x squared. So I always look at whatever's to the left, and I look at that x on the outside. 5x squared, I'm just going to divide them. 5x squared divided by x is 5x, so 5x goes up above, and I'm going to multiply. 5x times x minus 3 is 5x squared minus 15x. Subtract going down. The left term should always cancel out no matter what. So then all we got to worry about is that 6x minus negative 15x, which becomes a plus 15x. So 6 plus 15 is 21x minus 16. Now we look at the 21x and the x. So what times x is 21x? So we just divide. 21x divided by x is 21. So that 21 goes up above, it's positive, so that's why it's plus 21. And now we're going to multiply 21 times x minus 3 and write that underneath. 21 times x is 21x. 21 times negative 3 is negative 63. Make sure you subtract both of those going down. So the 21 minus 21 just cancels. Minus a negative becomes plus. Negative 16 plus 63 is 47. Because we've used everything now, this is everything. So that 47 is the remainder. The 3x squared plus 5x plus 21 is the quotient. The dividend is underneath the sign, and the divisor is x minus 3. So now we can write the division statement. 3x cubed minus 4x squared plus 6x minus 16 divided by x minus 3 equals the quotient, which is 3x squared, plus 5x plus 21, plus the remainder, which is 47, divided by the divisor, which is x minus 3. So this is a lot. So this is one of the biggest processes we're going to do this year is long division. Just know there is an easier method that we'll be able to use most of the time. But right now we're just going to practice this long division with polynomials.